Hey folks, this is Jay from Bantha Brothers with another mail call video for you. I've been away from home for the past week and I just came home to a big stack of parcels. There's a few things that aren't particularly interesting, so I've opened everything up already. I'm just going to show you the highlights. Okay, so first up we have 8 of these wax packs for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the second movie. 8 of these by Topps, all unopened. These aren't particularly rare or valuable, expensive or anything like that, but they're just a cool thing to have. I'm not going to open them, I'm just going to keep them for display purposes. I might end up giving a few out if I sell some turtle stuff and throw one of these in with some figures. Not very exciting, but I've got 3 of these struts for the vintage Y-Wing from Star Wars, vintage Y-Wing fighter. I bought the ship complete boxed off someone on a Facebook group about 3 years ago. And if you know that ship, it has 8 of these struts which hold the engine in place, and it arrived with 5 of them broken, so I've managed to get 3. Still on the hunt for another 2. These are the dark grey ones, which I think come with the Palitoy or the European version of the Y-Wing fighter. The Kenner version is a lighter grey. Next up we have a soft head Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is one of the original ones from 1988. The first wave of these toys came with this kind of soft rubbery head, which is very similar to how Master of the Universe figures used to come. This one has his nunchucks. He's got 1 pair in his hands and then he's got a spare pair on his shell. So really cool to have that, as it's one of the originals. I've also got a few weapons for him which are kept separately. I never display all the weapons with the figures because I'm just worried about them getting lost, so I just keep the most important weapons with them. Next up we have Usagi Yojimbo, and I had one of these a few years ago, but he was missing all of his weapons. Now I managed to get a complete one. He's got this sword that you see here, and there's also a little dagger, a kind of medium length sword, and he's also got this long spear thing. I can't remember the name of it, but as I said, I don't keep the weapons with the figures. I keep them boxed up because otherwise I'll just have no space to display everything. I got Cheapskate. I used to have one of these years ago. Don't know what happened to it, so just replaced that. It was only a few pounds off one of the Facebook groups. Shout out to Michael if you're watching this, from the Turtles UK group. Thanks for that. Bought a few things off him, nothing too interesting. Got a few spare weapons and accessories and things like that, but I'm not going to show those in this video because otherwise this video would go on forever. Another pickup this week is Metalhead from the Turtles line. He's just got his 1 accessory with him. I need the backpack for him. I only picked him up because he was a couple of pounds, he was cheap. I couldn't say no to him, had to have him. Not a big fan of buying loose figures, loose incomplete figures. Try and buy complete where I can, and with the turtle stuff I'm really trying to buy carded where possible. Got myself another foot soldier. This is my second foot soldier now. I've got a 3rd one on the way because I want to army build these guys. I'd like to get at least 6 of them. Now it seems to be really hard to find them complete with the knife accessory as well. You can always find the shell biter. Sometimes you can find the mace, which he holds in his hand, but then there's also a little dagger as well, which he could hold on to, but they're always missing when you buy them second hand. So I'd like to buy complete ones, but I'm not too bothered. They're really expensive to buy separately. Oh, this is another one I bought from Michael in the Turtles group on Facebook. This is Scumbug. Doesn't have any of his accessories with him, but just for the sake of a few pounds I thought I'd get him. Really pleased with him anyway. And off one of the Facebook groups I bought not 1 but 2 Rebel Commandos. These are complete with their rifles. They're the genuine original rifles, because I'm trying to army build these guys. I now have 6 loose, including these 2, and I've got 2 carded as well. These would be great when I make an Endor diorama. They go well with the Ewok Village playset. And also I got myself a Last 17 Anakin. Now of all the Last 17, he's probably the cheapest and the easiest to find, because there was a big mail away campaign where you could easily send off for Anakin back in the day, and I think there are still a few in the baggies circulating around. He was, I paid £15 for him, which is about right, to be honest. But he's absolutely immaculate. I did have him before, but I got him graded and ended up selling him, so it was nice to pick up another one of these. He's absolutely immaculate, can't fault him at all, nothing wrong with him. I only picked him up as a sort of an afterthought because the guy was selling these two, so I wanted to get a few things to make the postage costs more worth my time. So actually pleased to tick him off my list of figures that I need now. It's always nice to think that I've picked up a Last 17 figure. And then another Star Wars thing is this vintage Yoda hand puppet. Bought this off another one of the groups, one of the toy groups on Facebook. He's still got all of his hair there. The guy said that he's got a few marks, but I didn't realise just how many marks he's got. He's got a bit of paint wear to each tip of his ears, and also to the end of his toes. He's a bit grubby as well, so he could probably do with a wash, but he wasn't very expensive. He'll just go on display somewhere in a cabinet or something. It's got some paint wear as well to his face. He's got some paint wear to his face as well. He'll do for now. He'll sit in the back of a cabinet or something, and I'll upgrade him eventually. And then one of the more exciting pickups off a different toy group this time. I got a carded Fugitoid, and he is from 1990, and he's unpunched, so really happy with that. Love unpunched carded figures. They're just beautiful to me. Absolutely love them. I'm going to keep them nice and clean. Never going to open them. Preserve them. And also got Panda Khan as well. Now I thought that this one was unpunched, but looking back at the sales post, I must have been mistaken, because he was advertised as being punched. But nevertheless, cool figure to have. Didn't pay much for him. Nice little bargain pickup there. And another thing which arrived this week is a stack of card protectors, box protectors from a company called DC Deflector. Now I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're a company in the UK that do these kind of plastic packaging things to cover your carded figures and some of your boxed items. And it works out a lot cheaper to do this than to buy acrylic everything, because acrylic stuff is so expensive. Now to be honest, acrylic is my first choice, but because of the cost it's very prohibitive. So I've got a few of these. There's some for Turtles figures, there's some for the larger Star Wars figures, you know, the ones with the deeper bubbles like Gamora and Guard and guys like that. And then there's some of the narrow ones for your regular slim figures. I'm going to do a separate video where I do a little review of these. But just to show you, I'll show you one that I opened already. This is my Rat King figure, which I showed off in the last mail call video, and I've put it in one of these DC Deflector cases. You can see it's just basically a plastic box. And they're not particularly thick. They wouldn't withstand any sort of a bump or something, but they're just a good way to keep your figures clean. Nice way to display them. Of course, because it's got a flat edge on the bottom, it stands up quite easily, so you can display them all in a row. I'll do a video soon where I put all my stuff into these, show you what they look like. You can make up your own mind. I think that's everything for today's mail call video. I did pick up something in the week which wasn't a mail call item as such. It was an in-person find. I went to over here in the UK we've got Computer Exchange. Well, just bought a couple of cheap DVDs. I'm living in the 90s, honestly. First Blood, Rambo, Sylvester Stallone. Never seen it before. I've never seen Rambo before, so I'm going to start with this one. and then this one called No Retreat, No Surrender, which is 1985, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. And of course Rambo is 1982. Probably going to watch both of these in the coming weeks, but let me know in the comment section which one I should watch tonight. What do you reckon? First Blood or No Retreat, No Surrender? And that's everything for this week's mail call video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe to my Instagram account. Link is down below, and give this channel a follow too. Take care.